So you say that nobody's broken.
No.
Is there a specific point when they come? Or have you seen any patterns as to when they end up working with you?
Yes, the pattern is that the old way of running their business or leading the organization just doesn't work anymore. And the more they try to push that modus operandi, the more they try to do, the less well it seems to work. And eventually they throw their hands up and say, I've got to find another way. Who do I turn to? Because clearly they're not doing it on their own.
So when you say the old way, what do you mean by that?
The old way very often has elements of command and control in it, an autocratic approach. Now, don't get me wrong, as I think I mentioned in the book, an autocratic leadership approach is absolutely the right one in certain circumstances, but not all circumstances. And one has to be able to adapt to the situation and to the people you're dealing with. Again, this is nothing new. This is referred to as situational leadership. But not many people are able to do it because they tend to identify with certain belief systems and they tend to have practiced a particular way of leading that used to work but doesn't work anymore. I think people have changed. Certainly I've seen it over my lifetime. If you go back 30 or 40 years, people expected to be told what to do. And I'm generalizing hugely here. This didn't apply to everyone by any means, but a lot of people expected to be told what to do and expected to be a cog in the system, a cog in the machine. Things have changed. And you can see this particularly in the latest generation. And there's a lot of comment on this at the moment that the latest generation, I forget which one it is, Generation Z? Gen Z, okay. I don't know what we're going to do after Z, but Gen Z it is. They're not so interested in this. They want to do what they want to do. Part of me rebels against that and says, no, they've got to fall into line. But I do get it. I absolutely get it, because one of the premises that I work on more and more is that the right way to go is to be found deeply buried in your own desires, your own aspirations, your own goals and dreams, to the point where, and I've written about this, that what you really want to do, with the emphasis on really, is probably the best guiding light for your life and today. You know, what do you really want to do? Because I think we can very easily suffocate that and suppress it and replace it with, well, what should I do? What ought I to do today? What would my parents expect me to do? What would my boss expect me to do? And all of that is a frame of reference beyond yourself. It's all out there. But within you, I think within each of us, there is desire to go down a certain path, to explore certain things, to achieve certain things. And I think the more we can connect with that, the more in tune we'll be with the world outside. And in relation to Gen Z, I think that they are more in tune with that inner guiding light than perhaps I was at the same stage.
And why do you think that is? Because that's certainly the case. I mean, this questions like, what do I want, is much more common in the generation than in the previous ones. Yeah. Is it because the parents have been asking the children? Is it because, there's a cultural movement? Like, where is this coming from?
I think it's all of those. I think there's an evolution in mankind that demands it. It's also heavily supported by technology, because we don't need to worry about, generally, we don't need to worry about where our next meal is coming from. That's a lot of that is taken care of. So Maslow's pyramid, the bottom two layers of that, they are far more robust than they were not so long ago. And I think people now rightly have the luxury to say, well, I'm not going to worry too much about where I'm going to get my next meal from. I'm going to do what I want.